Hello, everybody. I'd like to share with you an insight of the Kedushas Levi, Reb Levi Yitzchak of Berditchev, who was known always as the defender of Am Yisrael. I'd like to share an insight of his on our Parsha, but in order to fully understand what he is saying, we're going to have to take a look back to Sefer Bereshit. We know that after Avraham was circumcised and he was convalescing, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sent three malachim in the guise of three anashim, three human beings, to go be mevaker cholet to Avraham and also to share divine messages with him. Presumably, most people understand that, at least at first, Avraham thought that they were as they appeared to be, as human beings. And only perhaps somewhere along the line, he realized this was a message coming to him from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There is, however, an alternative opinion that's expressed by Rabbeinu Bechaya. And he says that Avraham knew all along that these were malachim, messengers of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, bringing a special message from the Almighty. And he bases this on the fact that Avraham addresses his visitors, Vayomar bi Adonai, with a kamatz under the nun. And Rabbeinu Bechaya suggests that Adonai with a kamatz beneath it always is a representation of the divine. Contrast that, if you will, with how Lot addressed these malachim, in which he says, Vayomer hinena Adonai, with a patach under the nun and not a kamatz, which then gives rise to the question, if Rabbeinu Bechaya is correct, and Avraham knew all along that these were malachim and not human beings, then why, for heaven's sake, does he offer to wash their feet and to feed them food and drink? They're malachim. Surely he knew that they are really incorporeal despite their visage and appearance. And here's where the Kedushas Levi explains that Avraham wanted to impart a message on behalf of humankind in treating HaKadosh Baruch Hu and his messengers. Please understand that we human beings don't always manage to fully comply with the divine will. Why? Because we are trapped in a mortal body that needs food and drink and other creature comforts. And sometimes our pursuit in the material world impinges on our ability to properly and fully serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu correctly. With this in mind, and that's why Avraham served them food and drink to remind them of the human condition, we can now understand, says the Kedushas Levi, what happens when Moshe Rabbeinu is told that the time of his demise is near. And then Moshe entreaties Hashem, and he says to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yifkod Hashem Elokei Haruchot L'chol Basar Ish Al Ha'edah. Let Hashem, God of the spirits of all flesh, appoint someone over the community, over the congregation. It's a very strange appellation of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Elokei Haruchot L'chol Basar. Says the Kedushas Levi, Moshe Rabbeinu was asking Hashem that he appoint a leader who is endowed with the quality to be melamed schus on Am Yisrael, just like you, God, the God of spirit, Elokei Ruchot, the incorporeal, all-powerful one, who doesn't have material needs, but yet knows that he is the God L'chol Basar, of human beings, of flesh and bones, who have corporeal needs. And therefore, God, you always in your compassion show chesed and rachamim and understand the frailty of the human condition. So too, I beseech you, Hashem, when you appoint my successor, says Moshe, may it be a person who understands the frailties of the flock that he leads, to understand the challenges that each and every Jew and the community of Bnei Yisrael faces in their wanting to do the will of God, but sometimes faltering because of the weakness of being mortal human beings. This midah of chesed, to be melamed zchus on the other, for leaders and frankly for all of us in our interpersonal relationships, is a very powerful message that Moshe Rabbeinu, as understood here by Reb Levi Yitzchak of Berditchev, who so often went to the mat to be melamed zchus on Am Yisrael, how important this character trait is for all of us. Shabbat Shalom.